I am 32, male, never thought cutting off my family would be the best decision I ever made. But looking back, I should have done it sooner. Growing up, I knew my parents played favorites. My younger sister was their golden child, and I was the afterthought. She got what she wanted: new clothes, vacations, a car on her 16th birthday. Me? I worked part-time jobs just to afford my own clothes. But I was naive. I thought if I worked hard, if I proved myself, they'd see my worth. They never did. When I turned 18, I left for college with barely any support. They refused to help with tuition, saying, "You're a man. Figure it out." Meanwhile, my sister was showered with money, even for things like weekend trips with friends. I worked 2 jobs while attending classes, barely scraping by, while she flaunted designer bags on social media. I graduated with debt, but a sense of pride. I landed a solid job in tech, worked my way up, and by my late 20s, I was making 6 figures. My life was finally on track. And then, as if on cue, my parents came knocking. Not with congratulations. Not with pride. With demands. It started with small things. "Your sister is struggling. Can you help with her rent?" Then it escalated. "Her car broke down. You should buy her a new one." And then, the bombshell. "She's in debt. You have a good job. You should pay it off." I refused. That's when the mask came off. My mother's voice turned sharp. "She's your sister. Family helps each other." My father chimed in. "You're being selfish. We raised you. The least you can do is give back." I couldn't help but laugh. Give back? To the people who made me struggle alone while they handed my sister everything? I told them no. Firmly. That's when things got ugly. At first, they tried guilt. If you don't help, she could lose everything. What would people think if they knew you let your own sister suffer? When that didn't work, they turned to manipulation. My mother suddenly had health issues, stress-related, of course, because of my cold heart. My father reminded me of every meal they ever put on the table for me, acting like that obligated me to be my sister's personal bank. I still refused. Then came the threats. "You'll regret this. We won't forget how you treated us. You're turning your back on your family." The final blow? "If you won't help, then you're not our son anymore." I should have been devastated, but all I felt was relief. "Fine," I said. "If that's how you feel, don't contact me again." And I meant it. For the next few years, I focused on myself. My career took off. I invested, started my own business, and eventually became successful beyond what I ever imagined. No more struggling. No more worrying about money. And most importantly, no more toxic family weighing me down. Then, out of nowhere, they came back. It started with a voicemail from my mother. Her voice was sweet, almost rehearsed. "Hi, sweetheart. We miss you. Your father and I were just talking about how proud we are of you. Give us a call when you get the chance." I deleted it. Then came the texts. "Mother, we should catch up. It's been so long." "Father, your sister is going through a tough time. She really wants to see you." "Sister, hey, big bro. I saw your company in an article. That's so cool. We should totally talk." I ignored every single one. Then one day, my father showed up at my office. My job. Security called, asking if I wanted them to escort him out. For a brief moment, I considered it. But I was curious. What could he possibly want after all these years? I met him in the lobby. He looked smaller than I remembered, older. But the moment he opened his mouth, I knew nothing had changed. "We need your help," he said, like it was a given that I'd say yes. I crossed my arms. "Oh, it's your sister. She made some bad investments. She took out loans, and the banks are coming after her. She could lose everything." I stared at him. "And? She needs $200,000 to clear her debts?" I almost laughed in his face. "So let me get this straight," I said, tilting my head. "You cut me off for not giving her money years ago. And now, after all this time, you come to me for $200,000. My father had the audacity to look offended. "You can afford it." There was the entitlement, the expectation, like my success somehow belonged to them. I shook my head. "Not my problem." His face turned red. "You're being cruel. We're family." "No, we stopped being family the moment you disowned me." He sputtered, trying to argue, but I cut him off. "I work for everything I have. Alone. Meanwhile, You enabled my sister's reckless spending, and now you want me to clean up the mess? No. You think you're better than us now? He snapped. Better? No. Smarter? Absolutely. I turned to leave, but he grabbed my arm. If you don't help us, we'll be ruined. I leaned in and whispered, That's not my problem. Then I walked away. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. A week later, I got served. My own parents, were suing me. I stared at the legal papers in disbelief. They were claiming financial abandonment of family and emotional distress due to my refusal to help them. They even argued that, since they had invested in raising me, they were entitled to a portion of my wealth. I almost wanted to applaud their audacity. Almost. Instead, I called my lawyer, who took one look at the case and laughed. This is ridiculous, he said. They don't have a legal leg to stand on. Parents aren't entitled to their adult child's income, especially since they cut you off. But I wasn't just going to win. I was going to make them regret ever trying this. I countersued for harassment and defamation, citing the repeated messages, their public bad-mouthing of me on social media, and now this baseless lawsuit. My lawyer recommended sending a cease and desist to drive the point home. That's when my mother cracked. She called me, sobbing. We didn't mean for it to go this far. Your father was just desperate. Can we talk? I let her talk. I let her beg. And then I said, no. But we're family. No, I corrected. You made sure we weren't when you disowned me. The silence on the phone was deafening. The lawsuit collapsed almost immediately. They had nothing. In my countersuit, I won. They were forced to pay me for damages. Nothing life-ruining, just enough to hurt. Enough to make them feel a fraction of the stress they tried to dump on me. And my sister? She lost everything. Her credit was destroyed, her fancy lifestyle gone. Last I heard, she was couch surfing with friends. She even tried reaching out, acting like nothing had happened. I blocked her. I don't feel guilty. Not even a little. Because here's the thing. Family isn't about blood. It's about who actually gives a damn about you. And they never did. So yeah, cutting them off? Best decision of my life. Moral of the story? Never let entitled people think they own a piece of your success. And if you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise I'm not suing anyone for money.